Hello viewers, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new around here. Today we have another prediction video for the North American Winter Cup that starts today. I'm cutting this very fine. If you look at the time in the bottom right corner, I almost forgot to do this actually. So we're gonna go through this pretty quickly. I think I know what this is gonna look like. I'm not gonna try and do any crazy guesses. I'm gonna go through exactly what I think is gonna happen this weekend. So let's get started. Straight away, Genji against Koi in the first match. And that's going to be the first sweep of the weekend. The first game is going to be the first sweep of the weekend. Why is that not updating? Please don't crash on me now. Update. Thank you. There we go. Okay, next up, Dignitas and Optic. Optic for me is still a bit of a question mark. I don't know. It's hard to know what they're going to do. How they're going to be. I mean, ignore these pop-ups here. It's just tough to know what they're going to do because they've got a solid team. I mean, on paper they look like a solid team, right? But Dignitas recently have been looking much better, much improved team. So for me, that's going to be a reasonably comfortable win for Dig. Round 2 matches, Genji against Optic. Another sweep, it's Genji. Not much to say on that. Dignitas against Koi. I think this is going to be a comfortable Dig win again. So far, very boring matchup or guesses from me, but this is exactly what I think is going to happen. So, yeah, that's what we're going to go with. Genji against Dignitas next. I think this one could be a little bit closer for Genji. And when I say little bit, I mean a little bit. I think they could take a game of Genji, but that's about it. And next up is Optic v Koi. I don't really know which one which way this is going to go. I think Optic will edge this one. But I do think it'll be close, but we're going to go Optic edging that. Let's go over to Group B then. FaZe against Shopify. I think FaZe will win that 3-1. I don't think FaZe are going to be struggling to get out of this group. I think they'll be fine. NRG against MAT. Tough to predict because MAT actually looking pretty good. But so are NRG. NRG looked better last regional. Still not where they would want to be probably, but there was improvements there. They looked more of a team, which is good. So yeah, I've got confidence in NRG winning this one. We'll give a game the other way, but I've got confidence that NRG can win that one. FaZe against MAT next, and we have a sweep here, I believe. I think this would be pretty comfortable for FaZe. Next, NRG against Shopify. Again, I think NRG will be too much of a unit and too strong. I think that's going to be another 3-1 for NRG. FaZe against NRG next. And I'm tempted to go NRG's way here. I am tempted. I feel like FaZe will go into this game thinking that they're going to win comfortably. But maybe I'm overestimating NRG a little bit. But we're going to go for an upset. This is going to be one of the very few upsets that we're going to have in this prediction. Because last time around I went for quite a few upsets. This time I'm just going to try and keep it a bit more how I think it's going to go. Next up, MAT against Shopify. I think this will be close, but I think MAT will take that one. I think Shopify aren't going to take a game, or a series I should say, in this group, unfortunately. Group C next. G2 against Ghost Gaming. Easy sweep for G2. Yep, G2 just too strong in my opinion for Ghost. Next up is V1 against Knights. I'm not sure about V1. I was correct last time about V1 not being anywhere near as good as they would be, or have been. I said it might take a while for them to get back to where they were after all the roster troubles that they went through. And turns out I was right. I did have them going through groups, but I had them going out round 1 in playoffs, and I was correct. So, and here, I think there's potential for an upset here. So I am going to go for a Knights win. 3-1 in favour of Knights. G2 against Knights next up. Straight away, G2 are going to win that one, in my opinion. I think G2 are still a very good team, no doubt about it. I don't think they've necessarily dropped off, but they haven't pushed forward either yet. But they still, whenever I watch G2, they still look like a very good unit, a very good team. You know, there's no selfish plays going on in G2. They work as a team all the time, and they work hard as well. So yeah, I've got G2 winning that one. Next up is V1 against Ghost. I think this will be close. I think V1 will just about take it. Next up, G2, V1. Can't see this going any other way than G2's way. We'll give a game for V1 though. And then Knights against Ghost. I think Knights will win this one 2-3-1 in favour of them. And then Group D, Space Station against A-Crew. A-Crew looking like a decent little team, but I think SSG will still have too much. Do you know what? I'm going to have that sweep in. I was going to give A-Crew a game, but I think SSG will come out the blocks pretty strong in groups. They usually do, I believe, so... Complexity against Furia next up. Big matchup here in this group. I think Complexity are the slightly better team at the moment. They're the slight favourites over Furia. If they can keep that momentum going, I think they'll go far in the Winter Cup. I am going to have them just about beating Furia in 5. SSG against Furia is next. And I think SSG can take this as well. And I'm going to have that going to 5 also, but I'm not sure about Furia at the moment. With the addition of Lost. Obviously Lost is a really good player and him and Yan are a good duo, but as a team at the moment, Furia, they look tough, they look strong, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if they're as scary as they used to be at the moment, but their time will come. Their time will definitely come, no doubt about it. Complexity against A-Crew next. I think this will be comfortable, but Complexity will give a game to A-Crew though. SSG against Complexity is going to be a tough one to predict, but I think at the moment Complexity are the slightly stronger team. I say slightly, I think they are the stronger team. They are the stronger team, and so we're going to go 3-1 in favour of Complexity here in this game. And then Furia against A-Crew. I think Furia will come out. They won't be happy that they're 0-2. So yeah, they're going to sweep that one against A-Crew. I've got A-Crew going out pretty easily going out as well here in Group B. So Group A, Genji, Dignitas, Optic, Koi in that order. Group B, NRG, FaZe, M80 and Shopify. Group C, G2, Knights, V1 and Ghost Gaming. And in Group D, Complexity, SSG, Furia and A-Crew. Let's move on to the playoffs, as they have been generated here, and there are some big games here in round 1. FaZe against Furia is the first of those games. Now I think FaZe... Oh, this is tough. Yeah, I'm going to have FaZe winning this one. I think it's going to be really close. This game could easily go either way. Tough matchup in the first round of the playoffs, but we're going to have FaZe just edging that one out. And then the next game here, Knights against Optic. I think Knights can win that. I'm not sure about Optic at the moment. And then again, they do have AJ. AJ is very good. Okay, I've changed my mind. I was going to go Knights. I've switched. I think AJ is going to pop off here if they get through to the playoffs. I think AJ is going to be pretty strong. And if they get a matchup like this against Knights, where it's sort of Optic are more the favourites, then yeah, I think they'll be comfortable. I think they can. It will be close. It won't be comfortable. It'll be close, but I think they can take it. Next up is Dignitas against V1. Now, I'm basing this off recency, of course, because you kind of got to, with these predictions, you got to go off form, how the teams have been performing recently. And Dignitas looked really good in the previous regional. And I believe that they can carry that through. I hope they can. If they do, they're going to beat V1. They will beat V1, no doubt about it, because V1 are not looking that good, in my opinion, at the moment. So yeah, I think they can beat V1. So we're going to have that as 3-1 to Dignitas. Next up is SSG against MAT. We're going to have this as an SSG win. Also 3-1. No sweeps here in round 1 of playoffs, in my opinion. We're going to start from the bottom here, from G2 SSG. And unfortunately for SSG, it's just a tough matchup. Yeah, I can't see G2 not winning this. It's tough because G2 have to hit a final at some point in the regional, right? But then you can say the same about SSG. It's a tough matchup for SSG. I can't see them beating that. I can't see them beating G2 there, unfortunately. This is best of 7, so we're going to have that as 4-3. NRG Dignitas, best of 7, tough. Do NRG have the legs like they used to? Or will the young guns on Dignitas take over? I think if Dignitas are performing how I've said they're going to perform, and they beat V1 here, they're going to beat NRG here as well. So we're going to have that. That's meant to be 4-2 to Dignitas. Complexity against Optic next. This one won't be close, unfortunately. Sorry, Optic. That's a sweep. And then Genji against FaZe. I can't see anybody beating Genji. It's going to be a boring prediction, but I cannot see 42. Jeez, I can't see anybody beating Genji. I just can't see it, unfortunately. Cannot see it. But we'll give a couple of games to FaZe. Genji against Complexity. So Complexity coming up against Genji. They did so last time out in the last regional in the grand final, and they lost 4-1 to Genji. And they're not going to want that to happen again. But 4-1 was a bit of a stomp. So can they come back from 4-1 and win a series, best of 7, in a space of, what, a couple of weeks? I don't think so. I think it'll be closer. We'll have it going to 7. But I think Genji is still going to come out on top. As boring as it is to predict Genji winning all the time into the grand final, I can't see it going any other way. I just can't. Can't see it. If they keep their heads level and they don't get too carried away with the form that they're putting in at the moment, no one's going to beat them. Nobody is going to beat them. Next up is Dig against G2.